Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures blog talk. It all starts with the blog. This week's blog is at ShaCannon.com/recession. Recession, because that's what we're talking about. This week, we're talking about post-recession small business priorities, okay? I'm your host, Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer with an exclusive clientele of 6 and 7-figure businesses. However, I have a mission. That mission includes you, small business owners and entrepreneurs who are spinning their wheels and struggling to get to their first six figures in business. I want to help you to make the money and create time freedom. Let's make the money and create time freedom. My freedom looks like living and working my business from anywhere in the world. Started this journey in Belize, lived in Mexico for 3 years, was in Buenos Aires for a year and a half. And guess what? I'm back in my favorite little beach town of Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And I'd love to call this segment a little business value with a view. So I come to my rooftop to give you view of the city. We're a little gray, might get a little rain today. The Caribbean Sea is not really showing up in the background. It's gray like the sky right now, but that's view. So let's get to the business, okay? So the business value. So this week we're talking about post-recession small business priorities, okay? Now, for a while there was a debate. Are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession? Right? People didn't want to call it a recession. However, what we know about recessions is that prices inflate, right? And then your dollar doesn't go as far. So that high gas price, the high price of eggs, the high price of living, and even your rent or your, you know what I'm saying? Everything was high and your dollar didn't go as far. So they can call it what they want to call it. But most likely it was a recession, right? And so as we're coming out of that period, what we know is things have changed. You know, people aren't necessarily afraid of whether or not they're going to survive. They did survive, but they're keeping their money closer to their chests, right? They're not buying into the things that they want and need as quickly, right? So there are things that we as businesses that actually survived this recession. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, there are some priorities we need to have in this post-recession atmosphere, okay? So we're going to talk about 4 strategies you should be putting in place post-recession, okay? So I'm going to say as fast as possible. Immediately. These are priorities. You need to start working on them as soon as possible. Good morning, Teray. So I'm going to give you 4 strategies this week for you to work on. The first one today that we're going to talk about is I need you to start being part of more conversations. Okay? Start being part of more conversations. Now, seems like something easy. Seems like something that wouldn't really matter, right? However, your visibility and your getting out there and not just being a part of conversations, but even leading conversations with your thought leadership, with your authority, giving expertise, giving value, right? Because what's going to happen is, good morning, Demetra, is as this post-recession period is waning, as people get back into spending like they used to, they're going to spend with the people who spent time and effort on them. Okay? So now is the time. Now is the time to get out there, be visible, okay? Start sharing your expertise. Start being a part of conversations where your ideal client is asking questions and you're the one answering these questions. Why? Because when they get ready to buy, they're going to remember who was there having these conversations with them, who was there giving value before they were ready to buy. And so when they are ready to buy, guess what's going to happen? You have built the loyalty and they will buy from you. So it is imperative that you start the conversations. You are an expert. Start giving and sharing your expertise. Okay. Start nurturing the people who will buy from you when this recession totally turns around, right? And people start spending like they used to spend. You want them to spend with you. Well, right now is the time for you to spend time with them so that later they will spend money with you. Okay, so it is imperative and it is a priority that you become a part of the conversations that they need to hear, a part of the conversations that give them value on the things that they need to know. All right, so we're talking post-recession small business priorities. The first strategy is you need to be a part of the conversation now. Don't wait. By the time you wait, the people who have been a part of the conversation all this time, they will then have the brand loyalty. So now is the time for you to be a part of the conversation and build up that brand loyalty. It's your turn to give first, and then later you'll be able to ask. And guess what? You'll be able to profit off of that ask. All right. So that is your first strategy. That's the first priority. We'll be back tomorrow with another one because it's what we're talking about all week long. I promised you that these last weeks of 2024, we're going to have impactful conversations that will be transformational for your business growth. And see, not a lot of people are telling you what you should be doing when people aren't buying as well as they usually buy. But there are things you should be doing to get ready for the ask, right? There are things you should be doing to get ready to be in position for when they are buying, it will be you that they spend their money with. All right. So these are the conversations we're having this week. Next week, our final week of the year, we're going to have another impactful conversation. But for this week, we're focused on what you should be doing in your small business as a priority in this post-recession atmosphere. OK, because people are not buying quite as fast as they used to. They survived just like you survived. However, they're still a little iffy about stuff. So be ready to be the one that is the choice. Okay. We're going to go into this conversation deeper in our community. So we invite you to come to the morning show, join the community, ShaCannon.info/group. This community is just for you. If you are struggling to get to your first 6 figures in business, this community is for you. In fact, this week, we're having a free training, so you don't want to miss it. It's at 2:00. But first up is the morning show happening in about 11 minutes. Well, really, it's about 9 minutes, I think. So meet us over there. Join us, ShaCannon.info/group. Come get the information you need for your business's transformational growth.